You may have used an access modifier without even knowing. Yes, the public keyword is an access modifier. It is typically used to set the access level of visibility for a block of code or a single line of code, such as classes, fields, methods, or even properties. All types and type members have an accessibility level. The accessibility level controls whether they can be used from other codes in any assembly or other assemblies. An assembly is the compiled output of your code, typically a DDL in C#. By the way, a DDL means Dynamic Link Library. It is a library that contains functions and codes that can be used by more than one program at a time. There are 6 types of access modifier. 1. Public. 2. Private. 3. Protected. 4. Internal. 5. Protected internal. 6. Private protected. Let me explain these access modifiers with examples in Visual Studio. Come with me. Okay, now we are in Visual Studio. I have created a document already, or a Visual Studio document. I called it Access Modifier. You can see that there. I also created a library called Demo Library, okay, inside the Access Modifier solution. So we kind of have 2 projects going on here. All right, so what I did next was to now rename the default class.cs. I think this was called class1.cs. I renamed it to access modifier.cs, and I now created my access modifier methods in here, because this is where I want to use it. I want to demonstrate how it works in this particular document. Okay, so here's the main class called the access demo. Okay, I created this class here, which I renamed it, and I renamed here to the class here to access demo. Access basic public class demo basically means everything inside this document, this solution can access it. Okay, can access this class called access demo because the access modifier is public. All right, so it's available for every document in this application. All right, but the private one is kind of different, and the private and the others. The private basically can only give access to every other methods within this class document, this class file. All right, so every other thing, for instance, the protected void, every other class can access private, but not anywhere in outside this class file. Not anywhere. It's very, very private. All right, so let me demonstrate it using let me create a new method and see how we can demonstrate it. So I'm going to create a new method. I'll give it a private access modifier, private void, and I will call it, I just call it test. Okay, so we're going to be using this method here to test all our demo here. All right, so what I want to do now is to see if this private method called private demo can be accessed by this other method here. So all I need to do, I just say private. Let's see if you can see that it can be accessed, private demo. You can see that it can be accessed here, but the others we're not seeing that. You can see that in the IntelliSense. You can see that it can be accessed here. All right. All right, but let's now test it to see if it can be accessed in another document or in another class outside of this particular document here, this demo library. Let's see if it can be accessed elsewhere. So I have another document here called access modifier, another project, so to speak. So what we want to do, we need to actually now reference this demo library in this access modifier for us to be able to see it. That's what you do when you create two files in one solution, or two projects, I beg your pardon, when you create more than one project in a solution, you need to reference it. So I'm going to go to access modifier now, and I reference this library so I can gain access to the information here. So the way to do that, you select the dependency under the access modifier, which is this one here, right? Right click and choose add, right? And you choose this. I've actually added it before, so but if it wasn't added, you will just click on that, all right, and choose OK. So that will automatically add what you have here, right? Is add demo library to access modifier, so we can have access to everything in this part of the document. So I'm going to go to the access modifier program now. I'll open this, right, since I've already connected it here. So what I'll need to do now, I'll now have to add the using statement called demo library. I actually added it already. So basically I had to add this one because I want to have access to the information on the demo library. All right, otherwise it will not work for you. So now let me see if I can now access that private file that I created, that private method. Now to do that, first of all, you need to create an instance of the class here. The instance of this class. Create an instance for you to be able to even have access to anything here. That's a standard way of accessing methods, okay? You need to create an instance of the class to have access to it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go back to my program, and I'm going to create an instance. And to create an instance, you just basically create the instance of the class, which was called demo. All right, I just copy it so I make sure I do not have any spelling errors. So I'm creating an instance. I'll call that that instance of the class. I just give it any name that I like. I just say AD basically just represent access demo, or he's suggesting stuff for me. I could just call it demo, it doesn't matter. So demo equal to new, because I'm creating an instance. You use a new keyword when you are creating an instance of this file. So I'm going to do that and that. So this is me creating an instance. That's done. So now I can use this variable name here to now access what is inside access demo class. That's normal. But remember, we're trying to practice. We're trying to check if the private access modifier, if the information under the private access modifier, if we can access it from here. So I'll see dot. You see, I cannot access it. I can only access all the keywords or all the methods that comes with any class. You know, I can't access it because its access modifier is private, so I cannot access it. Okay, so I'm gonna just delete this now. So that illustrates that anything private is just within the class. All right. So let me go and look at the second one, which is class, which is protected. All right.